Good evening, beautiful people. I come on the air even as the bees and the wasps are talking to me. And if during this time you see me go, it's not because I'm playing pickleball. I'm trying to keep from being stung by the ubiquitous bees and wasps on our deck. Welcome to Sunday Night Sanctuary. I'm Bishop Randy Dean. It's a pleasure to be here with you. It's an honor to share my heart with you. I'm so blessed that many of you come here routinely, but if you've never been here before, let me explain what it is we do besides playing pickleball. We start with the Lord's Prayer, which we'll do in just a few minutes. It has come to my attention that many people feel awkward or don't know the Lord's Prayer. You're good with me. I'll say it on your behalf, and if you want to join me in the Lord's Prayer, if you know it, or even if you know it in broken fractions, give it a shot. I'll carry you along, and the two of us can agree together with the Lord's Prayer as we go on. So we'll start that in just a few moments. Also, we conclude in about 20 minutes or so with the table of Jesus. This is the place where all humans are equal and equal in their welcome to receive the bread and the cup. So if you'll have bread or a cracker at the ready for at the end of this time, about 20 minutes, that'll give you the opportunity to join with me or just observe. And so if you've not been here before and you want to observe, just watch and see. And maybe next time you'll come and you'll have bread or cracker and a drink of your choice, wine or juice, whatever it is that works for you in communion. Here's my deal. I love communion. It keeps me connected to love, keeps me connected to my faith in Jesus. I'm a Jesus boy from the top of my head down to the tips of my toes and my soul in between. I love Jesus. But I don't have a religion incorporated, church incorporated mentality that says only the best people get to take communion. That's stupid and wrong. I believe all people, including this people and you people, can receive communion because it's a supper for humanity. So come to the table of the Lord with me at the end, and I'll serve you gladly, freely, and joyfully. Let's get to the Lord's Prayer. All right, you ready? I pray with my eyes open. I love to do that because you never know when I might need protection. But I also pray all the time with my eyes open. I know because there's such a freedom in praying with your eyes open rather than the hard squint. I'm not a fan of that for me. So here we go. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. There you have it. You can see from the title today, I am here to talk about rescuing love from oversimplification. My passion is about love. My passion is to teach love, unpack love, challenge people to go forward with love. I've got a radio broadcast called Alive to Love. I'm the No BS Bishop. All lesser values than love devolve into BS, bait and switch, or whatever other BS signifies for you. Love. So Jesus said we'd be known that we were his followers if we loved, not if we had great hermeneutics, not if we had great theology, not if we knew how to condemn the world to hell. No. But if we had love. But to that end, he was not talking about some sweet, precious little tiny idea of, oh, I just love you so much. But in Ephesians chapter 3, it says, the height, the depth, the width, the breadth, the beauty, the significance, the foundation of love. I believe that all of that is a part of what Jesus was saying, was that if we knew that kind of love, we'd be known. We'd be known as followers of Christ. And, I've discovered too that some people think, well, you must be a follower of Buddha or Hinduism or other religions because you're always beating the drum of love. I'm going to take that risk. I'll be fine with that. Because at the core of my heart, I know where love was birthed in me. I know where I discovered love, and I know where I'm going to take people in discovering love. And I'll listen to anybody. By the way, I believe this. If somebody's talking about love, I'm all ears. I'm going to listen to you. And I don't care what your background is. I don't care what your religious feelings, thinkings, teachings are. I don't care if you're an atheist, agnostic, or if you're Hindu, Islamic. I don't care. If you're talking about love, and I mean love that creates life, I'm all ears. Count me in. Because love is the final analysis of all of creation. So let's get right to it, shall we? All right. Nobody can love the way you love life. So my love, your love, it's distinctly our own. It's like a fingerprint. We are hardwired from birth to love and to be loved. The baby crying at birth is crying for mama's love. Mama's cooing and clutching and embrace, that's love. That child is learning love right now. And if it's fortunate enough to know daddy in the middle of that, even more so. But love is the instant of a human's existence. We're all hardwired there. So to that end, we are all, each of us, conditioned to be loved and loving as we go along. Now, what I've learned is this: as I love, I think there are people who have come to want me to be so loving that I'll be codependent. And in that regard, some folks say, well, you can't just love. I'm going to pull you back away from that, because I believe in love, and I believe I don't have to pull some kind of trigger on love and call it tough love. I think that's nonsense. Love that is love all by itself is tough alone. I don't have to add tough onto love to make love tough. Love is tough. Love is strong. Love is powerful. Love has walked with Mrs. Ginger Ann Dean and Mr. Randy Dean for nearly 50 years now. That's a tough love, baby. But I don't have to call it tough love, because that's love all by itself. We learned love for each other, and out of that, a strength and a toughness of survival has come into it. So I just find that when people want to talk about tough love, they usually have a little asterisk at the bottom of it, the fine print that says, and by the way, I'm going to give you some tough love, and I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to say some things you don't want to hear, because I'm going to give you tough love. I'm allergic to that. I've been on the receiving end of that a few times. That isn't tough love. It's not even love. It's your excuse with a little tagline of love on it that says, oh, by the way, I'm gonna treat you badly, and you're gonna have to put up with it. So, to that end, I'm asking you to join me in love that is love. We're all here alive to love, and perhaps our whole inner being. Excuse me here. I'm gonna grab my my sound. Is my sound working? Give me a response. Am I working okay? I hope so. Anyway, I'm convinced that love that is love is tough all by itself, and I don't have to qualify it on any other level. Now, here's the other thing about that. I don't want my experience in codependency. And by the way, hi, I'm Randy. I'm a codependent in recovery. I need recovery because I grew up in a home of dependency. I grew up in a home that was under assault from addiction. The addiction that was in my home was upon particularly my brother, who was 6 years older than me. And from my earliest memories, I knew he was hurt. Something was broken in his life. And I mean, I'm talking 3 and 4. I knew something wasn't working well in my brother. So to that end, I had to just work with me the best way I knew how. But in that, at an age of 4 years old and going forward, I became codependent. I've often told folks I'm the spiritual care director for Spiritual Program Retreat. And I've often told folks that codependency is as much an addiction as any drug or alcohol, because codependency feeds me with the idea that I have a need to be needed, and so then my neediness becomes my drug. So I'll answer the phone, I'll do whatever I need to do to be needed, and my neediness gets fed because I'm so needed by so many people, and at the end of the day I'm exhausted, and the next day I'm hungover because my codependency has dragged me through the keyhole backwards. I grew up as a codependent. I grew up recognizing that I had to fix my brother. I had to fix, manage, and control. Fix, manage, and control. Keep him from whatever it was happening in his life so I could fix, manage, and control everything around me. And I mean from the time I was 4. I didn't recognize it as such at that level, but I recognize it now. I grew up in that manner. So now you fast forward multiple years. When I graduated from college and I became a pastor, man, I had a big target on my forehead to be a bartender in codependency. That's like being an alcoholic and owning a bar and serving alcohol 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I was a codependent. My neediness wasn't drugs or alcohol. My neediness was to fix, manage, and control people. Out of that, I had to go into a program of recovery. I'm grateful I entered my program of recovery in AA, and that's a long story. I won't tell it here. But in my pilgrimage with AA, I've discovered that my codependency is guarded by good and healthy boundaries. So I can say to people, this is how I feel, this is what I think, and this is what I need. I can say those things without feeling like I'm turning people off or I'm separating people from my love. Here's something that I've written and I believe with all my heart. See, I love everybody. For most, I will love with as much proximity as possible. To that end, that means I'll love you as closely as I can, geographically or otherwise. For most, I will love with as much proximity as I can and which is possible. But for some, I'm going to have to love with as much as I can grasp or learn on any given day. So to that end, I might learn somebody's fighting addiction, the disease of addiction, whether it's alcohol or drugs or a multiple other layers of addiction. They're battling against that disease. So my role in their life as a lover, I can't afford to love without the sense of knowing what's proper for my thinking, feeling, and what my needs are in this life. Now here's the rest of that. However, for a few, on any given day, I'm going to have to love you at a safe distance for your sake and for mine. But no matter what, I'm going to love you. I will love you wherever you are, whoever you are, but I'm going to create for myself boundaries that sustain my own recovery going forward. My boundaries in knowing this is what I think, this is what I need, and this is what I feel. Now, a boundary isn't me telling you, if you do that again, I'm done with you. That's an ultimatum. If you do that again, I'm going to hate you forever. That's an ultimatum. That's not a boundary. A boundary expresses, this is what I feel, this is what I think, and this is what I need. So if I own a car, and I do, and I know that you smoke, and I have friends who do, and I know they get in my car, and maybe the pack of cigarettes and a lighter is handy, I may have to remind them, hey, welcome to my car. I am not comfortable with anyone smoking in my car. And of course that's for my needs, because secondhand smoke would be tough on me. I grew up with 3 smokers, count them, 3 out of 4 members in the family, and secondhand smoke really gets to me. So when I realize that my boundaries are not punishments or ultimatums, but I realize this is what I need. I need to live in a smoke-free environment to the degree I can manage that. So that's a boundary. Another example of a boundary is to say to people, you know, I am happy to be your sponsor, and I'm a sponsor for a few. I'm happy to be a counselor, to exercise being that one person in a 5th step, admitted to God and to another person the exact nature of my wrongs. So as a pastor, as a clergy member, I've heard multiple 5th steps where people are able to admit to God and to another human being. I'm happy to do that. However, I need you to understand, I will do that with an appointment, because this is not only what I need, this is how I think best and how I'm going to be able to feel the best about what you share with me, how I can be empathetic with you, rather than having you impose at 3 a.m. when you just got over your last bender and you're trying to get past your hangover. That's not a good thing for you and not a good thing for me. My boundary says, call me. Let's set up an appointment for a 5th step. Happy to hear it. Happy to talk you through that. Happy to listen you through that. That's the better way of expressing a 5th step. That's a boundary. It's what I think. It's what I feel. It's what I need. It's not me telling you this is what you're going to do and this is how you're going to do it. And it's not about me controlling you so that I can feel better about me. No, that's not love. That's controlling. That's manipulation. That's imposing on people something that makes me feel better, but it does not bring healing to you, and especially to you and me included. Brené Brown, let me give you a quick read on her definition of boundaries. Boundaries is a tough thing. So if I'm going to rescue love from oversimplification, I have to let people know, here's how I love. But I love best when I can guard my own soul, my own mind. So here's how it works. She says it this way. Bear with me, I got to read a page. She said, the best definition of boundaries comes from my friend Kelly Ray Roberts. Kelly was an oncology social worker who followed her dreams to become a prolific, globally recognized artist. After experiences with some of her art students, copying her work and selling it, that's interesting, she addressed her art community with a very straightforward blog that said, this is what's okay, and this is what is not okay in terms of using her images. For example, it's okay to be inspired by her work. She loved that. I would love that. But not okay to copy it and sell it. This is a simple but profound way to set boundaries. As we say in Brené Brown's organization, clear is kind. Unclear is unkind. Clear is a boundary. Unkind can end up being this nasty threat. It can be this unnecessary ultimatum. Ultimatums are not boundaries. When I set a boundary, I'm telling you, this is how I love best. And this is how I can love you best. And I'm determined to love. I'm not going to let love be reduced to cheap rock music or stupid country songs. Right? Some of you who know me, here's something I've said often. If you've heard one country song, you've heard them both. The same can be said, I get it, about some cheap rock songs. But whatever the case may be, you can't define love by music or music lyrics. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. I break out in hives just saying that. I'm already itchy somewhere. That can't be healthy for anybody to hear, much less integrate into their thinking. My boundaries sustain a love that doesn't get reduced to stupid cliches, to silly Christian bumper sticker theology. Love that is love is tough all by itself. I don't have to tell you I'm going to practice tough love. No, I am going to practice love, baby. You're going to get love from me. And my love is going to be strong. My love is going to be tender. My love is going to be empathetic. My love is going to be thoughtful my love is going to be with eye contact. Now let's go to that for just a minute, because I've got something to share with you about that. If you know me at all, you know that one of the things I am known for, perhaps infamous for, is look somebody in the eye and say, I love you. So it's easy for me to right now say that to you in this moment and tell you I love you, because I know you guys are out there 1,000 miles away or 50 miles away or 10 miles away or however far away you are. And I don't have the moment of eye contact that gives us some pause of, oh my gosh, where are we going with this? I get it. When I say I love you, I get it. It gets weird in a hurry. It can be awkward. I've discovered that there's a step toward it that some folks need. I'm good with this. When people say, hey, love you. Now, I'm not okay with, I love you, when it's all one word. Oh, come on. Let's be adults. But when somebody says, love you, without I love you, I get it. You're working your way there. I get it. I understand that. I've been there. I am there when I say I love you with somebody I don't know well, because I don't know everything in their own history that might be a bit awkward. But listen to this carefully. What is it about saying I love you that keeps people from saying it while you can hear it and receive it? So that was a Facebook meme that I grabbed earlier today. I would give everything I own to be able to look my dad, who has passed away now. I'd give everything I own to get my dad in my physical presence, grab him by the shoulders with a smile and say, Dad, I love you. Same with my mom. Mom, I love you. Slowly, intentionally, with the power of an authenticity that is beyond the bland or ordinary. Ginger and I practice this, I would say, every day on some level. I say, Ginger Ann, I love you. She'll say, Randy Dean, I love you. Woo! Fills my lungs with air, puts my mind at peace, gives me strength to know whatever's coming tomorrow, we're gonna manage. We're gonna go forward in that day. So to that end, when we reduce love to some kind of kitschy bumper sticker theology, I'm uncomfortable with that. I really am. Because I'm convinced, as I said at the beginning, Jesus said, this is how we're going to know we're the followers of Christ. If we have love for one another. My passion in the remaining chapter of my life is to rescue love from oversimplification. Maybe there's a better way to say that. If there is, I'll find it. Rescuing love from oversimplification. It's too powerful. It's too meaningful. It's too profoundly available for the healing of the human mind, body, and soul. That we are able to say it. I practice this in meditation and prayer with Spiritual Program Retreat, where I tell people, listen, I know this is going to be awkward for some, so bear with me as I challenge you to find somebody and say, I love you. It's hard. I know it is. But I also know it's harder to live a life that's never been giving or receiving those holy, charmed, magnificent words. Do you hear me? So tonight, I'm here to talk to you about boundaries and getting out of codependency. Codependency is demolished by authentic love. Knowing that I'm not here to fix, manage, or control you. I'm here to love you. And I may have to love you at a distance. Maybe I can love you in a closer proximity. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to fix, manage, and control you. That's going to be your job. So I'm out of time. But I'm going to call you to join me in the most beautiful expression of love that I know of, that is a point of faith, and that's the Lord's table. You see, can you imagine, here's Jesus with his disciples, and the temptation to fix, manage, and control every last thing in their life must be screaming at him, along with the upcoming the torture and crucifixion he's facing just after he served the first Lord's table. He's looking at these boys and girls and recognizing, oof, I could fix, I could manage, I could control. But it would be short term. It would be cheap. It would be tawdry. And it wouldn't be deeply meaningful to what they need in this life. So he took bread and he said, this is my body broken for you. Here's how I see that. Love says, I'll be broken for you. But you're going to need to fix, manage, and control yourself toward the love that this is offering you. This is the body of Christ offered for you, not imposed, not an ultimatum, eat this bread or go to hell. If you've ever heard that, please forgive all pastors, priests, imams, rabbis, anybody that ever preached that kind of sadness and ignorance. That's wrong. Eat this bread and be given the opportunity to soak love at whatever level that love can bring you healing. So that at the end of the day, hell isn't your ultimate eternal destiny, but at the end of the day, hell is minimized out of your breathing and living. Being able to know that I took one bite of love. I took one swallow of unconditional love in my life. Jesus, bless this bread to those who are here today and going forward as we share this. May this bread be the expression of the nutrition of love from heaven. Amen. Amen. And then Jesus took a cup and he said, this cup is the cup of my blood. That's hard. That's hard. I don't expect anybody to grasp that in one setting. I've been drinking from a cup like this for all of my adult life. I'm still grasping the beauty of it. I'm still trying to wrestle the healing of it into my heart and life. But here's what I do. I move past my own need to ratchet it into hard understanding, and I pull it into my emotional base of, this is the table of love that Jesus gave Randy. I'm going to keep drinking this cup until that love takes care of everything from my head to my heart to my soul to my mind and everything in between. Bless this cup, Jesus, as we receive this, to be nourished, not by codependency, not with some unhindered somebody controlling us, because you're only here to offer love. But here we drink this cup in the mystery of a sacrifice. This sacrament calls us to a genuine notion that we're being fed and we're being given nutrition that it's going to take all of eternity to really grasp. Love me, Jesus, while I drink this cup. Well, I appreciate you being here tonight. Thanks for your patience with me along the way here. I had a lot of content to put forward in about 25 minutes. I know Ginger's been here putting up contact information, how you can support us through PayPal, paypal.com. That's in there. We really do appreciate the support, because all of that support not only gives us, the opportunity to live and breathe and keep doing what we do as a pastor and in our bishoping the world around us in the best way we can, but it also is helping us aim toward, as you've heard me say here multiple times, I know it's a broken record, we're aimed at a podcast, and that I know will give us a larger audience than just here and other means. Our radio broadcast, the No BS Bishop Alive to Love, that's in the comments as well. Really proud of that project. We have no way to measure how far and wide that goes. I just know it's widely embraced by a lot of people, far and wide. But that radio broadcast, you can tune into that on your computer, your phone, or other device that you might have, where you can go WPCA Radio. And Ginger's got that contact information. Last but certainly not least, we have, and I keep forgetting to ask permission of our volunteer, who I see is watching, who has been slaving at helping us get our merchandise store open. It has been a battle between 3 layers of social media. I'll leave it there. It's been a battle between 3 layers of social media. No, 4. Whatever it is, it's too much. And to that end, we are so grateful for the help we've gotten from a volunteer that's going to help us help underwrite the podcast. A podcast is no small task. A friend of mine, by the way, there's a podcast, I'll put in the comments, that I was interviewed in by Fran Lehman, Jesus at the Table. It was a great podcast. I enjoyed talking with Fran, and I'll put the connection there later, because that's what I want to do going forward, because I feel like it's the best way to reach more people with more time and more thoroughness going forward. So the No BS Bishop Alive to Love will be a podcast, and that's why we have the merchandise that's going to be offered. Help support Ginger and I, help support the podcast, help us get this word out, because I know you know that what we have seen in 21st century Christianity is really in need of some overhaul. To understand the power of love, to understand that we can have boundaries. We don't have to be codependent zombies walking around just doing whatever we're asked to do. We can say no. By the way, no is a complete sentence. When you have to say no, that's all you have to say. No, period. Maybe put an exclamation mark on it, but don't put a question mark after it. So to that end, we're here for that, for those goals, and that's why we're here at the very least for Sunday Night Sanctuary. Please feel free to share this. I do. I roll it through Facebook routinely through the week, because I feel like there's something valuable going on here for people that have walked away from Church Incorporated. They've walked away from Religion Incorporated. They are spiritual refugees that Ginger and I find precious and true to our own hearts. And we want to just keep touching you with truth and love and a capacity to know you're being heard and you're being honored and respected. All right, I got to go. I hope I got it all in, and I hope that as you have been listening to me and watching me tonight, you caught it all. I hope. All right, now go out there and do something beautiful. Hello, baby. Ugly. Oh, ugly is getting done to death. May the people of love rise and shine with a love that is beautiful, significant. I don't have to describe it as tough love. I can say it's love. And love all by itself, baby, it's tough. It's strong. It's beautiful. Now go out there and practice that, would you? I love you. Hey, here I am. Have you heard it lately? Has somebody looked you in the eye? I wish you were right here on my deck with me, and I would say this right now. Yeah, I know it's startling, a little awkward, but hear me. Best way I can give it right here. I love you. You matter. And love from my heart is the best thing I can give you in this wide world, so that you know you're you're treasured by somebody. Now go out there and give somebody else the same treasure, because you can't keep what you don't give away. All right, I got to quit. Peace.